Hello everyone, welcome back to our Accounting 210. In this video, we continue with the chapter 8, relevant information, decision making. Last time we talked about different situation you may see for the first scenario is whether you should accept the special order, yes or no. In this video, we finish the other three scenarios, okay? Next one, we talk about whether we should discontinue a product or department, yes or no. Our rule is if the money that will be saved from the avoidable fixed cost more than the money we will lose from the contribution margin, then we should discontinue it. Otherwise, we should not discontinue it. So if a product line has a negative contribution margin, product is not covering its fixed cost and should be discontinued, right? Yeah, that's right. If the contribution margin is already negative, and then you cannot cover the fixed cost, so you should discontinue it. Next one said fixed cost that exists even after product is discontinued are called unavoidable fixed cost, right? That's correct. So even you discontinue it, you cannot avoid it. That is unavoidable fixed cost. Some fixed cost can be avoided. So if you discontinue, you can avoid it. Let's say special equipment. I remember from our textbook, it said if you have to rent a special equipment, then if you discontinue the product, you don't need to rent this special equipment. So that will be avoidable. Otherwise, it's unavoidable. Next one. Common fixed costs that's in your textbook allocated between departments are generally common fixed costs like insurance, tax. Those are not avoidable, and will not be relevant because even you discontinue this department, then you still overall you still have to pay the insurance and tax to pay the tax. This part is very important: avoidable, unavoidable, relevant, irrelevant. We said only the avoidable fixed cost will be relevant, right? So these unavoidable fixed, they are irrelevant. Okay, they are irrelevant. Next one. Okay, so let's look at some numbers. Today's situation asks you about assume fixed cost remain unchanged. If there is no change, then you cannot. So our criteria is we want to see whether we will save money and then we will lose money, right? So, but you will avoid zero fixed cost. So you will save zero, but you will lose, we said fashion, but you will lose a contribution margin 4,000. That's very clear. We should not, because if we discontinue, then our operating income will decrease by $4,000. Next one said, how about the other situation? This one that we can save 27,000 fixed cost. Like we don't need to pay we don't need to rent the special equipment, let's say. So you will save 27,000, but we will lose 20,000 of the contribution margin. You say, you got 20,000. That's the contribution margin with fashion. So we will save. So we should discontinue. So if we discontinue, our operating income will increase by 7,000. Next one. Let's see. Oh, see, you see. I put those questions there just so you can compare each other, right? So you will get better understanding. How about now? I think it's almost similar, right? So asking you about you discontinue fixed cost unchanged and discontinue the microwave line. How will this affect? So you will not save any fixed cost. So it's the same, right? The same as the first one, but you will lose 45,000. In that situation, your operating income will decrease by 45,000. Okay, next one. Okay, next one said, okay, so we are done basically. So for this scenario, the scenario 2, whether you should discontinue it, we look at the money we will save from the avoidable fixed cost, and compare that with the money lose from contribution margin. Okay, next situation is if we have constrained resource, we should focus on with the one with the higher contribution margin per unit, not the lower, right? So we should focus on the higher one. Next one. Okay. Next one. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's look at this one. Okay, you have food processor, you have this espresso maker, and then we said, okay, so you are just said food and the coffee, okay? And then you have this food contribution margin. We just look at contribution margin. Will be 65 with this one. You know, how did you get 135 minus 70, right? So the coffee is, let's see, 235 minus 190 gives us 45. Okay, gives us 45. And then we said company can produce 2 per machine hour or 3 this. Okay, so you can produce 2 or 3. So we produce 2. What's that? 30, 35. Okay, so we should focus on coffee. The company production is only 1,500 machine hours. Minimum, what should we do? Okay, so we should definitely just go to coffee, right? We should definitely go to coffee. We should definitely go to coffee. And then you totally have 1,500 machine hours. And then 1 machine hour, you can produce 3 coffee maker. Okay, machine hour. So you should make 45,000 coffee maker and 0 food. So it should be 4,500, 4,500 and 0 food. Okay, so that's the right answer. We should focus the one with the higher contribution margin per constrained resource, which is the machine hour. Okay, let's look at this one. Oh, this one. Okay, this one is advanced one. I'm not sure you like it, yes or no, but let's get started. Okay, so you still have food, and then you have a coffee. Is a good one to practice. Also, we said contribution margin. This is 105. This is, let's say, 235 minus 150 gives us 85. And then you can produce 2 or 3, still 2 or 3. So we times 2 times 3. This gives us 210. This gives us 255. So we should focus on the coffee, right? We should focus on the coffee. And then you totally have 1,500. But, okay, hey, this is the new thing. This is the new thing, okay? But the company, the demand is only 2,100 espresso machine. So you can only make this much. That's all you can make. Okay, that's all you can make. That's all you can make. So 1 hour you will produce 3. So you totally will have 700. So out of the 1,500 machine hours, out of 1,500 machine hours, 700 goes to this coffee first, and you produce 2,100. Because if you produce more, you cannot sell them. The demand is only 2,100. The demand is only 2,000. That's the maximum number you can produce. The more you produce, you cannot sell. So you can only produce 2,100 using 700 machine hours. You still have 800 machine hours, and each machine hour you produce 2 food processors. So you should produce 1,600 food processor and produce 2,100 the espresso maker. So that's your right answer. That's your right answer. I want you to, if you are watching the video, it's a good way to practice, you know, if you have a limited market demand, that's all you can produce. You cannot produce more. If you produce more, you cannot sell. So that's all you should do. Okay, that's all you should do. Next one. I'm tired. Next one. You have this, through this, you have 60 machine hour. Okay, degree. Okay, so let's look at the variable cost minutes of these. Okay, so which one you should produce? Okay, so let's look at ABC, and then we look at the contribution margin first. First one, A is 30, second one 25, third one is 10, and then you need 15 minutes to produce, right? You need 15. So for 1 machine hour, you will produce 4 units. This 20 minutes. So for 1 machine hour, produce 3. 10 minutes, 1 machine hour, 6. Now you do it. So 120, 75, and 6. So we still should focus on A, B, C. That's our order. It should be focused on A, B, C. Right? So the only thing is here is instead of telling you, hey, 1 machine hour, you can make how many units? It tells you how many minutes you need to make 1 unit. So you need to convert it. Hey, if it takes 15 minutes, that means 1 hour you produce 4 units. If it takes 20 minutes, that means 1 hour you produce 3 units. If it takes 10 minutes, that tells you 1 hour you produce 6 units. Okay. Next one. All other things being equal, incremental cost outsourcing exceed the cost of making, then you should make it, right? You should not out. If you can, you have a car. If you fix it to the dealer, it takes you $200. Costs you $200. If you fix by yourself, it costs you $150. You definitely fix by yourself, right? You should make it by yourself. You should not outsource it. Next one, opportunity cost is no, opportunity cost is a future cost. It happens in the future. It happens in the future. Next one, let's see. Opportunity cost should be factor. Yeah, when you think about outsourcing decision, you should think about our opportunity cost. You should think about opportunity cost. Next one. Fixed cost is always irrelevant. That's wrong. That's wrong. I think we talk about that in the assignment, in the homework assignment, we talk about, or even in the textbook example, right? Said the earrings like Sony. I think the fixed cost, you have to read the question. If the question tells you, hey, you can save fixed cost or will have extra fixed cost, in that situation, fixed cost will be relevant. If question doesn't tell us anything, if question doesn't tell us anything, then we can assume for that question, fixed cost is irrelevant. But you cannot say fixed cost is always irrelevant. That's not right. Next one. Okay, finally, we have five questions. I need to drink some water, sorry. Okay, next one, let's look at this one. You should make a buy, right? Make a buy, let's look at the difference, make a buy. Okay, so you use them to make it this cost of producing 90,000. Okay, we think about 90,000 units. If you make is 150,000. Okay, but it includes fixed cost 40,000 and variable cost. Okay, so 40,000 is fixed cost and the variable cost is 110,000. This is total. I just put it there. Somebody can buy it from this and avoid. Okay. Okay, but we don't need to have all these. Okay, so now this is the question. And then if you buy it, then right, you can buy it. Okay. Now we look at the relevant information. Okay, so if you buy it, cost is 3.4 for each, right? But you will buy 90. 3.4 each and buy 90,000. 3.4 each and 90. So now it will be 3.4. 3. Sorry. 3.4 and then you have a 90,000. 306,000. So that gives you 306,000 for the buy, right? Buy, the total cost is 306,000. And then to make, okay, if you and then I say you make, then you have to have a 110,000, 110,000. Okay, for the fixed cost, if you make is 40,000. If you buy, the fixed cost will be, you will avoid 30% of the fixed cost. So you will just pay 70% of the fixed cost, right? So your fixed cost will be 28,000. The fixed cost will be 28,000. So now your total cost of make is 150,000. Your total cost of buy will be, that's so weird. How can it be so much? Well, that's true, right? Yeah, it's if you buy, it's much more expensive. Okay, plus 28,000, 334,000. Okay, 334,000. We minus 150,000 gives me 184,000. Okay, so if you make it's 150,000. If you buy it's 334,000. So you should make for sure. But if it's that you make, then your operating income will increase. Your operating income will be more 184,000 more than if you buy the part. Because if you buy, you have to pay 184,000 more. If you make, you save that 184,000. Okay, so we look at our total relevant cost for buy. We said it's total relevant cost for make is 40,000 plus the fixed cost 110,000. Total is 150. If you look at the total relevant cost for buy, it's 334,000. So you have the purchase price, right? And then you also have to pay 70% because you can save 30%, but you still need to pay 70%. Okay, I hope I didn't make you so confused. Let's look at this one. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one. Okay. Let's look at the next one. If you assume factors of okay, so let's think about if you buy, then look at the difference. Okay, you use the standard to make cost to produce is this, which include fixed cost and variable cost. Company can buy and save. Okay. There is no opportunity cost, but now you can have opportunity cost. Okay, so we do it one more time. Okay, so if you make the total cost, we said will be 160,000, right? Which is 80,000 of variable, 8,000 of fixed. If you buy, then the cost will be 3.3, right? 3.3 each. So 3.3 each, we time 80,000. So that is the relevant, the variable cost for buy 264,000 plus the fixed cost. Fixed cost will be 30% of the fixed cost. So 30%, you can avoid 30%. Sorry about that. So you will still have to pay 70% of the original, which is 80,000, right? So it will be 56,000. You add together 264,000 gives you 320,000. Okay. So if you make total cost is 160, if you buy total cost is 320. But now if you buy, okay, then you can free your space, and then you can do something else, and then you can produce 14,000 profit. As I said, there are two ways to work on it. The first way, based on your textbook, right? Based on your textbook, is if you buy, you can produce something else, then you can get 14,000 profit. So that will offset your cost. So our profit will be this negative because we think about the cost, right? We think about is our cost. Higher number means more cost. Lower number means lower cost. So if it's profit, it will offset your cost. So in that situation, your relevant cost of buy will be minus 14,000. So we got 306,000, right? We got 306,000. And then we subtract the difference of 160,000. So it will be 146,000. Asking about if you make, then you can get 146,000, right? You can get 146,000 saving. Another way to work on it is, we think about this is opportunity cost of make, because if you make it, you cannot produce this product, and you lose the opportunity of earning this 14,000. So if this is the case, then your total make will be 174,000. And you compare this with your 320,000, right? So we still use to compare 320,000 minus 174,000. So the difference is still 146,000. Our answer will be the same, no matter which method you use. Okay, next one. Look at this one. So I think it's similar, right? I think it's the same. Make this cost over this is fixed cost. Company buy. If you assume outsourcing can be, yeah, I'll leave this one to yourself. It's exactly the same, just different numbers. Okay, so I save this one to you. Next one, let's see, next one. So if I will offer to sell this on the present for the assumed company has no other facility, what should you do? Okay, so if you make or if you buy, so let's look at the question. Okay, so we still think if you make or if you buy, let's think about this. And so if you make, you have to have direct material, right? 4.5, direct labor 4.3, variable manufacturing. If you make, okay, so if you make, okay, the fixed costs are not avoidable. Okay, so if you make, your total variable cost is this, right? Your fixed cost allocated is $1, right? So you can add everything together, 4.5, 4.33, $1.1. You can add everything together. One way you do it, we look at the total cost. So if you make, total cost will be $12.9, including the fixed cost. Remember, right? Including the fixed cost. So if you buy, then the variable cost is the purchase price is 14.2, right? But you still have to pay $1.1 for the fixed cost because fixed cost is not avoidable, like the insurance, like the tax. So your total cost for buy will be 15.3. So your total is make is 12.9. Your buy is 15.3. So what should we do? We should make, right? We should make and we save $2.4. We should make and we save $2.4. Last one. I leave this to you. It's almost the same. It's almost the same. So it's very similar with our question 34. So I leave this to you. Okay, then I think I've finished my part. It really takes a while to understand everything. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.